The lonesome demise of my wretched poetry code. When men first landed on the moon, I was working as an armed human scarecrow, at a cherry farm. My alleged duty was to sit on top of a rickety tower, and scare the birds with a shotgun. To look the part I would often wear my poetry coat. My poetry coat had humble beginnings, as a navy blue overcoat, in the Salvation Army. I tie-dye bleached it, and inscribed poems in the faded blotches. The poems were kept on the inside. It being a time, when I still had some modesty, and occasionally opened up to bare my soul. Sometimes I would employ the poetry coat as my phantom surrogate. Using the shotgun, and my water jug as props, I was able to create a human scarecrow, by placing my straw hat on top the jug. Where the railing converged I would drape my coat, with the shotgun holding the arms on the railing, thereby creating the illusion of being on the job. The only difference between an actual scarecrow, and a human scarecrow is the human element. By removing the human element, I was able to come down to earth and do nefarious things, such as sneak up on my friend Michael and his adjacent tower. During the evening when flocks of starlings flew high overhead, some of the young chargers would blast their way through high heaven. Of course, we were supposed to just scare the birds and not kill them. Nothing in the job description, however, specifically stated that we shouldn't perforate our fellow workers. So it was with quiet abandon, that I made my usual climb up Michael's tower. The towers had a tendency to sway when mounted, so it was difficult to ascend in a stealthy manner. Approaching the last few rungs, I heard a volley of shots. Michael peered over the edge. "Now Stefan," he said, "I knew you were up to something, when I saw that crow land on your hat." Upon returning to my tower, I was shocked to see what had happened, in my absence. My beloved poetry coat had been shot full of holes. I opened the walking anthology, and saw how a fine spray had decimated my precious lyrics. Looking through the holes I came to the sad realization, that there were words missing from some of my poems. And that was the first time it occurred to me that I should edit my work.
I was once a human scarecrow, upon a cherry farm, on a tower with a shotgun, didn't mean to do no harm. How that cow got in the air eludes me to this day. So many things I would have done, but cows got in the way. I was a teenage folk singer, with a wretched poetry coat. It was tie-dye bleached, and contained the lousy stuff I wrote. With poems inscribed in the lining, I'd often bare my soul. Oh, is it any wonder? My early work was shot full of holes. I was once a world-class clown, doing stand-up in canoes. Now my days of building castles in quicksand all are through. Being forced to play ice hockey, I was quite a lousy skater, but did some groundbreaking work as a jackhammer operator. I was a teenage folk singer, with a wretched poetry coat. It was tie-dye bleached, and contained the lousy stuff I wrote. With poems inscribed in the lining, I'd often bare my soul. Oh, is it any wonder? My early work was shot full of holes. I sat atop an upright grand, beating chords out with my feet. My version of Cold Turkey could be heard way down the street. At school, the Glee Club sponsor, he said I sang off key. In numerous, humorous, doomsday ditties, all devoid of glee. That's numerous, humorous, doomsday ditties, all devoid of glee.
Somehow got through the liner.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
So
we'll just do that.
point to your poem.
That way.
Aren't you gonna point out your poem?
Yeah. Right. And I looked at my poetry quote and came to the sad realization that there were words missing from some of my poems.